wonderful Thursday evening. Think tomorrow morning I got to get up early because I'm heading out to New Orleans for Fan Expo New Orleans.
Yep, 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 yep.
And I'm going with you.
I'm expecting a lot of photos, Greg. Okay, a lot of photos because you're my traveling person. I'm going to be backpacking. Okay, so I don't know who's going to have more fun. Okay, just throw it out there.
And where are you going backpacking?
So I'm doing a practice backpack run in Georgetown, in Texas, because my husband has this dream that we're going to hike this trail in Hawaii. And that's, only on the top 10 most dangerous trails in the United States. And I've never backpacked in my life. Do I look like a backpacker? Because I'm not. I'm not an outdoorsy person by any means. By any means. So it's going to be a fun, 3 days, 2.5, because we're going to do 27 miles. Friday, Saturday, and part of Sunday, I guess. So it's I don't know who's gonna have more fun, Greg, me or you? Who's gonna have more fun? I don't know.
Me. I hope you brought comfortable shoes.
Oh, I have my hiking shoes, but at least it's not gonna be hot. Like, that's the beauty of it, right? Because everyone knows in Texas, you either sweat your ass off or what's cold to us, 70 degrees, we're all bundled up in sweaters and stuff, so at least I'm not going to be sweating my ass off. So I just am excited.
Well, it's going to get cold on those trails. It's been down to the 30s at night all week, and you are spending the night out there, right?
I know.
Yeah,
I have a mummy sleeping bag, supposedly, that's going to get warm. I don't know. I'm telling you, I have no idea. The only thing I know is in my backpack, I'm carrying all the food. That's all. I discovered this last night. So I'm like, this works for me. And within that food is marshmallows. Okay. And marshmallows are on top because those are my thing. So, I'm just saying, I'm set. I don't know about Josh, but I'm set.
Anybody want to put money? Anybody want to put money that they run out of food?
We're not going to run. Oh my goodness. No, let me tell you this nasty this man has planned. Okay, I like seafood and everything like that. I do, but he has tuna mac and cheese planned for dinner. Exactly.
Whoa,
exactly. That's my face. That's my face. It's gross. I'm not excited about it.
Mac and cheese.
It's like
tuna,
those packets of tuna, those things that no one eats. It's that. Okay. I'm just saying.
Please tell me you're not putting the cheese in there. I can understand a pasta, a tuna pasta salad, but
it is
mac
that
and cheese tuna?
because I can't have cheese, right? So he'll make the noodles and mix the tuna in, and then I get that, and then he'll add the cheese for him. But I'm just saying, I'm looking forward to the marshmallows and the jerky, okay? Because I've got beef jerky
hand warmers
for my
hand warmers. There you go.
So it's one of those things. It's gonna be a fun little adventure. Okay, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna survive. We'll see. We'll see. 26 miles, you guys. 26 miles.
Oh my!
That's a marathon.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. And I gotta carry stuff.
If this is the 12th dangerous, maybe he's trying to get even for all those times you slapped him.
The one in Hawaii is the one that they have like crawler's ledge. So it's like, I don't know, this thick of a ledge that goes around one of the mountains in Hawaii on the wettest island. Okay. Woo! Yeah, we're going to do this. And around this edge is like a straight plummet into the ocean, right? That's why most people have to crawl that. It's called Crawler's Ledge. So, that's only 11 miles though. But my practice run has turned into this 26-mile trail that makes no sense to me because I only have to do 11. So, whatever. That is what it is. That's where I'm standing. That's why my background's there. That's why I'm at my mom's. Well, exactly. Yes, that's my thought. Was it good thing is when you go to Hawaii is going to be great weather, morning, moon, and night. See, but it's the wettest island. And I've been watching YouTube videos. Guys, I got to get off YouTube videos. Okay. I've watched like a bad experience. And it's all like, well, the weather forecast was perfect. And on our day out, we needed to make our flight. And it just poured. And we had to hike back in the rain. The rivers were swollen. So we had to go down to the ocean and cross. We missed our flight, all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't have the best luck in the world. Okay, I don't. And that would be my luck. So I'm just saying.
I lived there and it's not that
you
bad.
Lived there. You lived there. Is it Kauai, Kalahui? I don't know. Kalua?
Mishmish. There we go.
Yeah, it's Mishmish, but I don't know. It starts with a K, Mishmish. That's all I know. So we'll see. We'll see. Hand warmers. I do.
But we are on our first episode for the season.
First of the year.
And we have Marcus Mauldin with us. And I have to say, it's great having you with us. We met down at Corpus Christi at
Yes, we did.
New Wave Expo, and that was a fun show. And definitely great meeting you.
Where was I? Because I was there. Where was I? Because I'm always around circling Greg. Like I'm just, I run around with my head cut off like a chicken. So where was I? Why was I not a part of this whole thing?
You were probably getting me coffee.
I probably was. I become Greg's bitch when we go to coffee. And it's, Amy, hey, I could really do for a coffee. Oh, Amy, sweet old Amy, because I am just a saint. I am an angel. Okay. Okay. Yes. Let me go get your coffee. I'm so sorry. Oh, Amy, we need to go interview some vendors. Okay. Do you want me to hold the camera? You want me to do the interview? What are we doing? Tell me what's going on. So it's a true statement. So I don't know what happened, why I wasn't there.
Well, Greg, she must have taken a long time to get this coffee because I was there with you for at least 10, 15 minutes. We took several pictures. We talked and we arranged this whole situation of me getting on to do the con hour. And she still has her mouth open. So I don't know what she's doing. What were you doing?
That's cold. Greg, you know what?
He even signed the banner. Yes, he signed the banner.
I even signed the banner.
Greg, to me, I call Greg this, and it is a name that I reserved for my husband, but Greg's bled into this name. Okay, Greg's a punk bitch because he probably waited until I left with my kids and my husband, which was like a couple hours before the show was over, for him to go make friends with you and have you sign the banner because he knew that's what he did. He's a punk bitch. That's what Greg is, because that's what I call him when he makes me mad. So, Greg,
hey, Amy, Marcus is coming over. Why don't you go somewhere?
I no longer feel indebted to you for the favor you did this morning for me. So
okay, I'm gonna save Greg on this one. I'm gonna save Greg on this one because Greg didn't know I was coming. He didn't know I was coming.
No, I did not.
So you're gonna have to blame the creators of the Con Expo down in Corpus Christi, because they came to my table, got me and said, hey, I want you to meet a couple of people. And they took me around, and Greg was one of the people that I was destined to meet, which brought me here, which brought us to this conversation. So the whole blame is not on Greg.
No, I know.
But that was fun, though. That was fun, though. That was really fun. Yes.
No, well, Greg's still on my list. He's number one on my shit list, and he strives to be there. He actually likes to be there. He's all like,
I have to admit, I love being on the number one of her shit list.
Hey, you gotta be number one on something.
Yes.
Hey, he likes it, but no, to be fair, I know I sound really hard on Greg, but me and Greg always have this like brother-sister relationship where I can give him a ton of shit, so it makes it a lot of fun for
me. And all I have to do is say one word. Just one word. And she'll even say it before I will.
Killed.
I'm not gonna say it.
Come on. You're being baited into saying it. You might as well say it now.
No, that's wrong on so many levels. I don't have. I have a phobia of men in kilts, okay? And so every time Greg brings that up, and this is what happens because I have a phobia about it. I won't go near them. There were a vendor and everyone behind there had kilts, and you can ask Greg. I walked so fast past that vendor table, and I was like, I am not doing this interview, Greg. No. And I refused to do it. I made Greg do it when I wasn't there. I can't hang. I can't handle it. I just can't. I'm a visual person, and so it's kind of like, oh my gosh, like I made a joke one time, like I'm gonna trip someone that was in a kilt to see what they were wearing underneath, and I didn't think that through, and I mentioned it, and then it became this whole thing, and then I was like, oh wait, no, I don't want to do that, and then I'm a very visual person, so now I can't unsee those images, and so Greg never lets me forget my phobia of kilts.
I got Adam one within 5 minutes. Someone grabbed his.
See, I just know. I can't do that. No. Yeah, no.
Oh.
So it's okay. I'm done. I'm like now I have all these visuals. I can't unsee that, Greg.
She's done for the day. She is actually done for the day.
That's over.
I can't unsee those. I can't unsee those. Like it's no, it's I'm done. I gotta mute myself and pull myself together because I can't because all the conversations we've talked about with kilts are coming up, like with you, and you're like, oh, well, I can stand up and have a kilt, and I'm like, Lo, for the love of God, don't do that. Like, no. So I just no, I can't.
I forgot to warn you about Amy before the show started.
I'm sorry.
I just know not to wear a kilt around her.
Thank you. Thank you. Please don't.
Not that I own one or anything like that. Nor have I ever worn one. But if I'm ever in a situation where I, for some other reason, need to wear one, it's like, okay, is Amy gonna be around? Because
I like that. I like that because no, Amy can't hang. Amy can't handle that. It is a true phobia, though. Okay, I did discover that it is an actual phobia, and I definitely diagnosed myself with it. So,
you diagnosed yourself with it?
Yeah, I did. I was like, you know what? I have this one. I don't like it. I don't like that. So, no, not today. Not today. No, can't hang.
Lordy.
Okay, new subject. So how did you guys meet? What's happening? I love that I was at a con that I was actually at. So whip whip, continue your conversation so I don't have to think about that.
I'm too busy laughing.
we met in Corpus Christi, and Greg was wearing a kilt.
Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. I thought we were on the same page, man. Oh, Marcus. You play dirty and I like it, man. I like it. I'm here for it. Oh my gosh. You can't see that. No, you don't know. Let's not do that. So he signed the banner, Greg? He signed your banner? That's great.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So excited. We had a 10 or 15-minute conversation when Amy was not there.
Right.
It was either food or coffee.
I think it was coffee. I think it was coffee.
Yeah, you must have been making the coffee run.
And they did have a line over there at that coffee place.
Heck yeah. It was good coffee. That's why.
I like how you tried to defend me with the coffee when honestly I don't even know where the hell I was.
We're helping you out, Amy. Shush.
Or you could have been over trying to get some of that barbecue.
Oh, no, I didn't get to try that. That smelled wonderful.
No, you didn't get to try any?
No, it smelled wonderful though.
Oh yeah, it was very, very good. That's probably some of the best barbecue I've had outside of the DFW area. Period.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really good. I even told him, I said, hey man, I come back to Corpus, I'm coming to your spot, wherever your spot is. I said, I gotta find out where it is. I said, so I can come to your spot. Because they had actually closed down when I went over. By the time someone came to tell me, I think it was Danny. Danny came to tell me, say, did you get any of the barbecue yet? I was like, no, what barbecue? So when I walked around there, I got there, the guys were like, oh, sorry, man, we can't cut any of the brisket because we're saving it for tomorrow for this, and the other thing. And I went, oh. I said, oh man. I said, I kind of hate that. And the owner, the guy with all the tattoos, I can't remember his name. Good Lord. Very muscular guy, had a lot of tattoos, bald headed like myself. Talked with him, and he was like, "No, man, cut him some. Get him here. Get him this, and get him this, and get him this." Cause he played Borderlands, so he was familiar with Brick and the whole situation. And he was like, he hooked me up. So I'm like, this is really good, bro. Where's your spot? Because when I come back to Corpus, I'm coming to see you no matter what. Bringing friends.
I love it. I love that. I feel like this should be more like that, man. I need a spot like that in Bryan. I have yet to find that in my small town.
Well, we have our own pit in the backyard, so. And
Greg, you have like everything.
What do you expect? This is country out here.
I know you live in the boonies more than I do, and I consider where I live in the boonies. So
I live in the suburbs.
Porter is a whole nother country.
No. No.
The only thing to do out in Porter is go to Walmart.
Well, I mean,
Walmart. I've been to a few towns like that. In fact, I think my original town that I was born and raised in is Palestine, Texas, East Texas.
Ooh, yeah.
I drive through there all the time.
Yeah, so that's pretty much kind of what it is now. It's, the Whataburger, the Walmart, Kroger's.
Perfect date spot.
They're right there together too.
They're all there together.
No, see, no. You know that drive to go to like Midland, like Midland, Odessa, and like El Paso and all that? There's nothing out there.
No, there's nothing out there.
There's nothing. And I always say, like, the little small towns you go through there, I don't know why, but it gives me the Hills Have Eyes vibe. So I like floor it through those towns because I'm just like, I don't know what's going to happen. I got to like get out of this. I don't know. So small towns like that scare me. I have issues. Like, I'm really discovering I need to talk to someone. I've got some issues.
So kilt and small towns so far.
But I live in a small town though. Like, that's the crazy thing, right?
So you're scared all the time.
No, I mean, to be fair, 20 minutes gets you across my town in 20 minutes with traffic. Okay, to be fair, I'm just saying.
We have one exit.
Oh, I mean, Bryan only has one exit. College Station has more. Bryan only has one. Okay, to be fair, because it's Bryan and then Boonville. I live in Bryan. And my happening place is Target, and I've been temporarily banned there. I'm not allowed to go back. No, I'm not from Target. My husband banned me because I spent too much money there, so I can't go back. I can't go back there now, but I can curbside pickup. I just can't go back inside.
Man,
let
me go with you. Let me go with you because Greg can take us.
Oh shit! I don't know which one it's for, but favorite coffee flavor.
Who is that? Is that
we're all gonna go silent? We're all went silent.
Oh, is that a question?
Is that for everybody or who's that?
I'm just gonna say everybody.
Okay, Marcus, go first.
Hot cocoa, chocolate cocoa, hot cocoa. No coffee for me.
Oh, okay. Do you do like tea or just hot chocolate?
I do tea and hot chocolate, but I don't do coffee.
Okay. I like a good tea.
And I would have to say for me, it would be the mocha.
I was going to say, you better mocha, sir.
Tea, though, I do drink hot tea, and I would say jasmine.
Oh, jasmine tea is the best. I like jasmine tea, but I like it with sugar. I like more tea with my sugar, like, to be fair.
So like bubble teas, flavor teas.
I like, yeah, those are good too. The bubba teas, those are good. Huh. Lizzie, what's yours?
White mocha is my favorite coffee.
White mocha?
Wow. Okay. Oh, you guys, this is hard for me. I have to pick one. You know, I go to Starbucks all the time, and it depends on the holiday season. If
Yeah, that's
sad,
true.
oh my God, I sound so sad. Oh my God,
Marcus, I have a story for you after she says this.
Oh, this sounds so bad. Okay, but because of the season that we're currently in, my holiday drink has gone. Okay, it was not the pumpkin spice latte. I am not that chick. I don't like anything pumpkin, so it was the chestnut praline latte. But because we're going to a new season, I got to kick it old school and go back to my old drink, which is a it's a caramel macchiato upside down. But yes, thanks for asking such a complicated question.
I have a question on top of that. So you said caramel macchiato, upside down. What's the upside down part of that?
I used to work at Starbucks. My gosh, that thing freaked me out.
They put I'm pretty sure that all the coffee goes on the bottom and they put the cream and everything on top.
Yeah, the espresso goes first.
Shake it. Yeah, and then I usually shake it so it incorporates. Where if it's just a caramel macchiato, then it's like the caramel and the cream on the bottom, and then the rest is coffee. And so it's like different colors. And I don't like that. I like everything blended. So I'm just like, can we do it upside down and shake it? So they hate to see me coming. And it's pretty bad when the Starbucks people, when I pull up, they're like, hey, Amy, how are you? That's pretty bad, right? I have a problem. But they love me, and it's okay.
And if I'm on the phone with her, she mutes me.
I do, because Greg tries to place an order when I'm there, and so I mute him and I turn the volume all the way down, and I don't tell him where I'm at, because he starts yelling, I'll have a mocha. And they're like, what was that? What size? I'm like, no, he doesn't really want one. It becomes a whole thing, Greg.
That would be an hour drive just to get it to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't
even be hot anymore.
I would give it to somebody else. I would find somebody else. I would just be like, hey, does anybody want this mocha? That's what I would do. I'm just saying, if it actually ever happens. But yes, I have to mute Greg. Greg's not allowed with me at the Starbucks drive-thru. He's awful.
All right, so no kilts, no small towns, and no ordering mocha over the phone.
Yeah, exactly. And most of the time when you call me, I'll probably be at Starbucks because I function off of that, and my kids do too. That's so sad. They function off of their cake pops.
So.
The cake pop. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't get coffee. No, they don't get coffee, but they get their cake pops if they've been good. If they haven't been good, they don't get one. But Amy gets a drink, and then that really puts my kids in a tizzy, and it's not a fun car ride home. Ask Greg. It's not a fun car ride home.
What, no cake pop for you?
No, I don't eat their food unless it's like a cheese Danish. That's pretty much it. I just want their coffee. I literally just hand them my money for their expensive coffee, but it's wonderful. So fun times. Ooh, caramel and vanilla. Nice. Nice.
That's a good mix.
Yeah, I could dig it. I could dig it.
Oh, Amy, I know what you would love. A Snickers one.
Maybe.
Snickers one?
Snickers? And then, well, if you go on TikTok, there's a lot of custom drinks, but they're like Snickers, Snickerdoodle. There's like all these flavors, but you got to like write down the recipe and give it to the barista, because if you don't, they're not going to make it for you, because they're going to pretend they don't know what you're talking about. So you got to tell them.
I know they can be so nasty sometimes. Oh man, but this guy goes to Dutch Bros. Man, I feel betrayed. I went there one time and I couldn't find anything I wanted. It was sad, but no.
What was the place that we went to? The Black Coffee Company or Rifle Coffee Company?
Oh yeah, Black Rifle.
Black Rifle Coffee. They have good coffee. Mm-hmm. It's strong, but it's good.
I stay in my Starbucks bubble, you guys. I am loyal. I am a loyal Starbucks person. That just can't be. I like sugar. So do I. I don't know. Maybe I have to go again. I got like I don't know. What was it? It's like a lemonade juice thing.
Oh, yeah. Refreshers.
No, that was at Dutch Boys. I'm a loyal person, man. I have a gold card at Starbucks and I get so many points and I can get a free cup, and so I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this. So it's not really a free cup. My husband's he likes to point that out. He's like, it's not a free cup, Amy. You spent how much money to get that cup? Like, what's a $20 cup? And it's 400 points, and I'm good. He's like, how much money did you spend? I said, it's a free cup in my mind. You're gonna leave me alone. It's a free cup.
Oh, hey, you're.
He drinks that pumpkin spice.
He's an engineer. He's really good at math, and I'm not good at math. But if it has free on it, I'm like, yes, I'm there. So
Hey, speaking of free, you might want to encourage your man to take you to Starbucks because you get free drinks. Like you go in, you get a free. I mean, you buy your drink and then you get a free refill.
Yeah.
What? They do refills? Because I'll plug that thing in the parking lot and go back in. Like,
no. You have to be inside Starbucks. Like, for example, if you walk in and you buy one first and you're like walking around and you want a refill, it's only certain drinks, but you can do that.
But I have to be inside. Don't tempt me with a good time, girl. I'll go work there. I'll be like, hey, yeah, no, I'm working. Yeah, okay.
That's a good excuse to stay at Target for 3 hours.
It's at Target too.
Mm-hmm. Really? Because my Target won't let me use my points. They're not really nice. They're not nice there.
You tell them, I know you guys get free drinks after this drink. I will be back in 10 minutes.
That's a game.
Yeah.
That's
with my cup so I can get a refill.
Right? Do they do that on hot chocolate?
I think they do.
Oh,
you have to look at their you know what they allow and their disclaimer, you know them. They're not gonna let you have every drink, but there's a list of drinks you can have.
Okay. I'll look. Hey, don't threaten me with a good time. I'll look into it. I can do that.
I'm gonna grab my drink and run to the toy section, go to the Sonic section, the electronic section.
You've never been carded
I've never been.
I haven't either. But it says it on my gold card, so that's probably why.
I can't remember the last time I was carded.
Oh, okay. Look, I have a funny story.
I can about 4
in the
years
50s
ago.
when you're
I was
playing
carded.
that game.
Really? You were carded?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I looked at him. But I was also clean shaven at the time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I was like, because I was clean shaven for a particular role, so I was like, "Well, thank you, man." I said, "Go ahead and take a look at that." All right, appreciate you.
No. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a funny story for you guys because this happened. And I feel like you guys are all gonna laugh at me, and that's cool because I'll laugh with you. So yesterday, my kids had school, like pre-K, right? So I was like, okay, I need to go get all this stuff done that it's difficult to take them. So I went to the liquor store, okay, at 1 p.m. Yes, I know. Okay, I know. I already know. And I was the only person that wasn't an employee in specs, okay? So, needless to say, I felt like the town drunk because I went to get my Di Serrano, right? And I was like, oh, I need some Kahlua too. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get my Di Serrano, the velvet cream one. So I was like, yes, I totally want that. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I got my Kahlua and I was like, oh, yeah, this is perfect. And then, I saw everyone else that was coming in at 1 o'clock. And I was like, wow, this really is like the drunk hour. Like, this is when the drunks come in. So then I felt really, out of place and awkward. So I called my mom so I'd feel less awkward because I was still the only person in there. My mom, I video called her and she was like, hi, you feel awkward, Amy, because you're the town drunk? Well, you need to embrace it, girl. It's okay. 1 o'clock, it's all right. I kid you not. Their heads turned. And when the lady checked me out, she chuckled. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not really the town drunk. I don't have my kids with me so I can get this. I felt like I needed to explain myself. But I went to look at 1 o'clock.
Amy, it's okay. There are a lot of people that go at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, all of that. You'll know you're the town drunk if you're standing outside before they open.
Well, I'm not up there. No, I'm not.
So if you ever get to that point, then you can start thinking about maybe I might have a problem.
Okay, I like that. That's good.
But if you're not standing outside waiting for them to open up, then you pull up before they get there to open up. Yeah.
Okay, I feel a lot better.
But it was the way you said it, though. You was like, "I'll be there at 1 o'clock," and I feel like the time. It was the way you set up the story. It was like we all had a laugh about the way you set it up.
I felt like it. I walked in. I was the only one. I was expecting to see some other people. Right, College Station's a college town. I was like, oh, maybe they're, I don't know, gonna have beer or something. No, it was just me, and all the employees in the red shirts, when you enter, like turn and look at you, and that makes you feel even more bad, and then you have to walk by all of them to get what you want. You're just like, oh, I don't know. I felt very ashamed at 1 in the afternoon getting liquor.
None of them said hi, Amy, right?
No, they didn't know my name. But I guess another bad part is I buckled in my liquor in the front seat. I buckled it in, so I didn't want it. I don't know. I didn't want it to.
You spend that money. You don't want them to spill a break.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. And then I had to pick my kids up. So I picked my kids up with liquor in the car. So I really just didn't help the situation at all. And then when I unloaded, I waited until my husband got home to get the liquor out of the car. So I didn't unload my kids and the liquor. That would have been bad. But that was my day yesterday. I'm not an alcoholic by any means, but I did bring my Di Serrano here with my mom, so I could have one after the show. But there
we go. The real reason.
It's after the show, you guys. It's not in my Starbucks cup by any means.
You know, there is actually a podcast called Drunk Theory where they actually just start drinking at the beginning of the show and keep going and going.
I want to be on that show. I want to be on that show.
And their purpose is
they get drunk while they talk about conspiracy theories.
Oh,
yeah.
And they get blitzed. I mean, literally blitzed.
Isn't that? It's on TV, right?
They do have a YouTube, but I think most of it they record.
Silver's a cute character, by the way.
So, okay, wait. I have to figure this out. Okay, so Marcus, you said that you were the voice for one of the characters in Borderlands. Is that right?
I am the voice of the character in Borderlands.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I know the cover of Borderlands. I know a lot of people that are, all about it. I've never played it, but it is a game I feel like I would be in.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I haven't played it either. Don't feel bad.
Shame on you too.
Thanks.
I ain't
saying shit. So at least I knew that, but I'm the gamer one here. I used to play a lot. I was really heavy into like Call of Duty and Halo a long time ago, like high school and stuff. Yeah, the more things I can blow up and I don't know, nuke and annihilate really made me happy. I have issues, but I'm excited to kind of hear about it because I've always wanted to dabble into Borderlands, but then I had kids and I haven't had time to like go back into it. But how did you come into being the voice of it?
Oh, okay. So to tell that story, I'm gonna try to shorten it a little bit, but it's a rather. So originally, when I auditioned and I got cast as another character in the original version of the game Borderlands. We had this whole big announcement, and these are the actors that are going to be voicing these particular characters, and so on and so forth, Gearbox and yada 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 yada. And then like 6 months passed, and then I got released and I got let go. I was fired, and disappointment is doesn't even describe how I was feeling. But probably about another month or so, I get a phone call from my agent, from my mama Sylvia. And she says, "Hey, baby, you remember that video game and you were doing voices for?" She said, "Well, they want you to come in and they want you to do another audition for another character that they're coming up with." I said, "I'm not going in. Who the hell do they think they're? I'm not going to drive and not going all the way in there and sit down and go all through this whole thing again." So what time am I supposed to be there? So after I did all of that, then I prepped, got in the car, took off, drove into the studio, went in, and when I got there, one of the producers was some of the original was still there, and he was like, "Hey, Marcus, how you doing? Glad to see you." Shaking my hand and everything, introducing me around the room, and so they said, "Well, we got this new character, and we immediately thought of you, and we just want you to go in here and just kind of lay down something for us for this new character." And he's like, He's like 6'9", maybe 7 feet. We don't know, 310 pounds of muscle. And the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. And he punches through anything and everything. And I was like, oh, sounds like me. So I go in and they have a picture of Brick on the screen before I even lay anything out. And I put the headphones on and I go, hell yeah. And then I start laying out, you know, all of the tracks that they have for me. Now in the original game, Brick is more grunts and growls and, you know, one-word things, you know, one-word sentences, three-word sentences. It isn't until Borderlands 2 where he really gets to develop and become the iconic character that he has become, which I say that in the sense of I was doing another interview about 3 years ago, I guess now, in Tulsa. And the guy was asking me about my career and voice work and stuff. And I said, yeah. I said, well, I'm really kind of, you know, hoping at some point to get an opportunity to do a real iconic character that will stand the test of time and people will still enjoy and will want to continue to play the game or watch the animated movie, you know, whatever it is. Right. And he looks at me and he says, but you have. And when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, you're right. I guess I kind of have.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that, you know, that was my whole way into Brick. I usually tell a more elongated story when I do panels, when someone asks that question with the body lens. Because when I do my panels, I don't sit down at the table if it's my panel. If it's, you know, if it's a collaboration and, you know, the others want to sit down, you know, then we sit down. I still might stand up, but if it's just me doing, you know, punch time, or if I'm doing improv with the Fairy Punch Father, if I'm doing those two particular panels at any con, I'm up, I'm moving, I'm running around. So the stories get more interesting because of the body language and everything else involved, you know, within the stories. And I'll do impersonations. Yeah, much more animated.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's I'm similar in the sense, except I'm more comfortable doing these kind of things in person. I'm a very awkward, shy person, but you wouldn't know that. You would not know that talking to me. But I'm dying to know. And then Greg, I'll give it back to you. I'm so sorry. But I want to know, like, how did you get into, you know, voice acting and stuff? Was it just always been like a calling for you? Or is it something that one day you're just like, you know what? I'm going to try this. You know, I always love to kind of hear that question because it's different for everybody and everybody's journey was different into getting into voice acting.
Okay, well, again, this goes back to Mama Seal. So I had signed with the agency, and I think I had been there about 2 years, I think, and, you know, trying to break in doing commercial acting and doing, you know, some television. I hadn't done a lot of film work yet, and I had just come from doing stage. I've been doing stage since getting out of college. So one day in the agency, at Kim Dawson Agency, I'm out in the hallway with some of the other fellow actors, and we're out clowning, having a good time, telling jokes, doing voices, being loud. And Mama Seal is around the corner in the office. So you didn't go in Mama Seal's office because you weren't invited in there. So while we were out there making noise in the hallway, she comes out with her hands on her hips, and she looks dead at me standing in the doorway, points at me, and says, gives me the principal finger, gives me that.
Oh, man.
Ooh, come here.
So I'm like, I wasn't the only one out here making noise. Why am I being the only one called? Why do I have to? She's still doing this. She hasn't said a word. And so I get up, I go in, I'm looking. You know how that look? You look back for your friends, like, y'all ain't gonna help me.
And of course, they probably turned their head.
Oh yeah, they were gone.
So, they're out.
Yeah, they're out. I go in, and Mama Seal is, and you know, she's all of 5 foot nothing, but Mama Seal is the sweetest person. But I didn't know that at the time. So all I heard was, you don't mess with Mama Seal. Don't, you know, because she gonna handle business. So don't go in there messing around. And so she's standing behind this big wooden desk, and this desk is hitting her about right here. And she's flipping through her book and going through her papers, and she's flipping papers and turning the book, and she looks up at me and she goes back down to her book. She looks at me again, she goes back down to her book, and she looks and she puts her hands back on her hip again, and she says, "Why aren't you on our audio tapes, our voiceover tapes? I don't see you anywhere in our logs. Why aren't you on here?" Mm-hmm. I didn't know we had a voiceover tape. I didn't know I was supposed to be on it. Nobody told me, so I didn't know that. So that was my answer to her, and she was like, she took out a pen, she wrote down an address. She's looking at me while she's talking, and she says, "I want you to go to this studio, ask for this person, call them before you come. This is like on a Thursday." And she's like, "By next Tuesday, no later than Tuesday, I want a demo reel back here in my office with your voice on it doing some commercial work." And she hands me the slip, and I walked out the door, made the phone call, went to the studio, recorded, and brought it back to her no later than Tuesday.
You made your deadline. I like
it. He did it that day.
I did. I walked out and started making the phone call that day. And so that led into me doing commercial work, voiceover commercial work, mostly radio, but I'd also done some voiceover work television wise. And I used to tell people a lot of times that you've heard me more than you've seen me, because I was doing things for McDonald's and Zales and Slotsky's and Kroger, Dr. Pepper,
Wait a
so
minute.
on and so
you
forth.
weren't in charge of that Mick Tonight, were you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, I didn't do that one. No, I didn't do that.
That thing scared me.
Church's Fried Chicken. So you, like I said, you'd heard my voice a lot of times on a lot of things, but it's voice work, so the face doesn't come with it, so nobody knows. But that led to some video games, which in turn led to Borderlands, and all the Borderlands games that have followed, and all the downloadable content that has followed, and hopefully the future games that are being talked about that are coming, as well as the downloadable content. But I'm giving a shout out and a plea now to the directors of the Borderlands movie. Brick needs to be in the second Borderlands movie, and I am Brick. So
and you're an actor, because I've seen
and
you
I'm
in
an
other
actor as well.
Things.
Get that
You were in Texas. Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yes,
I'll get it out right eventually.
What?
Yeah, he's been in several different shows.
You were in Walker, Texas Ranger?
Early in my career, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And now, look, you're the voice of the character of, in the gaming community, it has to be one of the biggest games. It's up there with like Call of Duty and Halo. Like everybody knows Borderlands. Like everybody wanted it. I remember the midnight releases and the lines being so long. I remember all of that. And so like it's definitely in the gaming community a huge game. And so to the gamers out there, you've made it. Like that's awesome. There's like, yes, this is amazing, right?
Yes.
So that's, oh man, that's just so cool. And like how it all started, is just the coolest thing. Like I always love hearing people's stories, but Greg knows that's because I work with authors, so bleeds in.
We have to give thanks to Mama Sylvia Gill, because if Sylvia hadn't come and given me the principal finger out in the hallway, I may not be sitting here.
I love that. I love it. And you did it like that day too. Like,
oh yeah, because you didn't play with Mama Seal. You didn't play with Mama Seal.
I love that. I strive to be like that one day. I strive for it.
Well, one thing I definitely wanted to ask is, because I know voiceover for TV shows and computers or games is going to be completely different, because you have a certain amount of time and you have a certain amount of space that you can use. So how was that with you? I mean, was it like the only 2 to 3 word sentences that made it possible, or?
Let me make sure I'm understanding. So are you saying in reference to was it
Timing.
difficult to do timing in the video games as opposed
Yes.
to doing the commercials?
Yes.
No, not really. No, not really. Not at all. This is really the timing factor in commercials is a lot more difficult because you have that 30 seconds. And
Mhm.
out of that 30 seconds, you might have 17, 22, 25. It depends on what they're doing with music and sound effects.
Mhm.
So you have a certain time to get that dialogue in, even though it's a 30-second commercial. Now, the situation may be that they've written more than 17 seconds, or they've written more than 20 seconds, or they've written more than 25, whatever the time limit is. You got to get that in there. That's why sometimes commercials sound like, man, they rushed right through that. I didn't hear anything they said. and then you want to replay it, but you can't because it's radio.
Oh, Lordy.
So now you're listening. Oh, I want to make sure I hear that commercial again so I can find out what they said. And this is not even the guys that are qualified that speak really fast, that do like the legals on commercials. Like I've done some legals as well, but those guys are really artists. They're like, bam, and it's like done, it's said. And you're like, what?
I think those guys should be auctioneers.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. So yeah, I mean the timing is there. It's kind of like doing anime now since I have been blessed to be part of the anime world. As a matter of fact, I got some auditions I got to turn in here in the next 24 hours for a new series that they sent to auditions for me. Thank you, Crunchyroll.
I was going to say, was it Crunchyroll?
It is Crunchyroll. Yes.
I
But
know a few people there.
matching the flaps when you're doing anime is totally different from doing the video game, because in the video game you have more creativity, more leeway. You're spawning what the character is going to do for the first time. So whatever the character is doing, matching the action, excuse me, that's you. That's you as the actor. That's your creativity and the direction of wherever the director is trying to take, the scene. Whereas with anime, you're matching the flaps. You're still going to listen to the director because the director definitely knows. The directors in anime definitely know their stuff, so they're going to get the best out of you to match what it is they need for what's already been laid out. So the timing is also critical in anime as opposed to again the games, because in the games you're creating it. So the games are, I won't say more fun, but more creativity involved in being an actor. Whereas with anime, it's already laid out by fellow actors in Japan, and so you just have to match their energy. If they're a real high energy character and you come in and you're not bringing that high energy, then you're failing as an actor. So you have to come in and match that high energy. Or if they're more laid back, you got to come in more laid back and match that kind of energy. Or if they want you to come in and do growls for creatures or barks for dogs or anything of that nature. I did one in the series Kuma 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 Bear, where I was the Goblin King. And the Goblin King does nothing but growl and snarl and roar. And, I got to go in and do that, which was, was crazy and creative because I didn't have to really, I had to still match the flaps, but, growling and roaring, was rather easy. It's kind of my thing because Britt growls and roars a lot too. So
So how do you take care of your voice and stuff with that? Because growling and stuff, doesn't that take a toll on your vocal cords and stuff?
Yes, it can. Majority of the voice actors that do anime, because almost all anime is loud and you're always screaming and yelling. There's hardly ever any real soft characters. There are some, but majority of the time you're over the top. So it's different things work for different actors. You always want to keep some water around, and drinking the water or drinking tea, as we talked about. I do honey in my tea with lemon. Sometimes just sucking on a raw lemon helps the vocal cords. There's also singer spray that I carry. I have a bottle right there. You can't see it, but I can't reach it either because I'll knock my finger off it. But it's right there that I keep here in my little home office. Because this area right here that I'm in right now is where I record. My little recording closet is right over here to my right, where I go and record the auditions for things, as well as if I'm auditioning for any type of film work. I got my blank wall over here to the left, and I set up and I record here. So, like right now, you're in my home, my little home studio, and my interview room with my relaxing, orange-covered, brown lazy boy.
I love that. I love that.
We all have our own special little place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's one thing I've always asked since the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Did you prefer going to the studio, or do you prefer now your home studio?
I'm probably going to be in the minority on this. I would rather go to the studio.
You'd be surprised. A lot of them have been saying the studio.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now I still like the availability because, what it had opened up is that, other studios outside the area that you can drive to are able to use you now for other things. Yeah, I do, because I like going in and seeing people. I mean, that's my thing. It's like, I see the engineer, I see the director, I see the producers, interact with them. I get to drive and be out for a minute, So, yeah, I mean, but it's also cool to come up here and, still have on your sleep gear and come up and, go in the closet, close the door, lay down your tracks and come back out and go back to bed.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's a highlight. It's business from the waist up. Okay, when you're doing video things, and it's party afterwards. That's just how it goes.
Now, we did interview a voice director, Carl Willems, I think his name was.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that he said that why he prefers the studio is because all the sound is the same, and when you get different locations, it's
true.
You have the different background sounds. So I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, because most of the time I record late at night, like after midnight, 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, before people start waking up and cranking up motorcycles and cars and all that extra outside noise, because it'll sound different. So yeah.
Yeah, I had somebody start mowing their yard at 7:30, 7:45 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was about ready to shoot them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. In the summer, man, most definitely. I'm always like, dude, why? It's gonna be the same grass at 11:30. You don't need to cut it down.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to unload my clip in you. Amy's like, no, Greg, no.
I had one guy mow his grass at like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh.
What the hell is he mowing? Because he can't see nothing.
He had a little headlamp on, his little headlamp. But it was so hot during the day. Like, it was like so freaking hot in the summer during the day. So he would mow it at like 10 o'clock at night.
Well, I mean, I'm a night person, so I can see that. Like sometimes I'll wash the car, go to the car wash at night, and wash the car as opposed to going in the day because it's, it's hot. But mowing the grass is one I don't think I've ever done and probably won't do.
I know.
Well, doing a car wash is a little bit different because you're not next to somebody's home.
Right. True.
Well, I know because I was awake, but I mean, I also got it too because it was like 150 50 during the day. So
yeah, true.
I totally I feel you, man. I get it.
Us damn Texans.
Mhm.
I think Florida's a little worse than us, though.
Yeah. Because they got alligators.
I wasn't even thinking of that.
Yeah.
Now that you said alligator, I'm going to be hungry.
No,
Man, look.
We are going to New Orleans. We are going to New Orleans.
Look,
I'm
I
not
come up
eating
from
it.
the studio and I go back to the house and there's an alligator on my front porch in front of my front door that's not going to let me go in. Florida's worse. Yeah, it's just that aspect alone. You don't know you're going outside, you finna jump in your pool and you look down in your pool and there's an alligator at the bottom of it. No.
No.
No, I can see that. I can see those issues.
No, see, no, you will never find me backpacking or camping in Florida.
Yeah, see.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love Florida. I've been there. I've had enjoyable times, but just in the same respect, I was at the resort and looked out across the golf course, and guess what was walking across it? So yeah, like
No.
Have you guys picturing Happy Gilmore?
No, have any of you guys watched Naked and Afraid? Do you guys watch that? I love to laugh at that show, so that's why I watch it. No, okay. Well, anyways, there was a Naked and Afraid episode, okay, that took place in Florida when like one of the hurricanes was going and stuff, and they were like in the swamp part of it, and it was so hot and all this stuff. This lady had duct tape and everything, but like they took them back after the hurricane came through, right? They still had to try to survive their time. There was a gator like all up in their campsite. My ass would be gone. I'd be like, ain't no amount of money. One, worth, me being naked on TV. I ain't got time for that. Or out in the wild. Do you know what's going to bite you? No, that's why I watch the show. But two, a gator, my ass is gone. No. I'm out. There's no amount of money for me ever that's going to risk my life for a gator. No, but you should watch Naked and Afraid. It's hilarious. Just saying.
I know people that go and hunt them. Actually, I do know people that will go and hunt gator.
Gotta go hunt the gator. Okay, well, I'll watch them.
Yeah,
from face to face, big difference.
And I'll applaud them when they come back with the gator, if they come back.
I forgot about that. There was a baby gator at the coffee shop out here.
What? Yep. Now you live in the Bonies, okay? The swamp.
It's actually New Caney, the other town just north of us.
But you said a
has
baby
one
gator.
Exit. Yeah, it was about.
So what was a foot long?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It was actually underneath a truck.
Look, she said, "Oh, nothing."
Yeah. No.
It's still strong enough to bite off a finger.
My ass is out.
Well, this is, like I said, this is country. And of course, there was somebody that went to get it immediately. I mean,
they took it home as a pet?
No.
Well,
He actually put it in the ditch where it could go back into.
Yeah, put it back out in the wild somewhere. Put it in the water somewhere. Here, you go that way. I'm gonna go this way.
There we
3.5 feet.
It was 3.5 feet to 3 feet.
Oh yeah, that was a kid then. That wasn't no baby.
Yeah. To me, it was a baby.
Okay,
it was a toddler. It was a toddler.
My goodness, I can't with y'all. Like, no. If I would scream. I would scream bloody murder. Just no.
And that was the local. That was the local coffee shop. No one had issues with it. So now we know Amy's afraid of gators.
No, whatever. Filter's still awful. Okay, so they're still number one. I would rather, gator wrestle than to have to deal with a kilt.
Okay, I'm paying to see that.
An alligator.
I'm just gonna run around from it. I'm just gonna run from it. I climb stuff. I'm gonna climb and hide. That's the extent of that. Okay, don't get too excited. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money.
I was like, look at your mother. Good. See how she's running? That's how you do it. Don't stand still.
No,
Lordy.
Goodness, no. What about gators wrestling in a kilt?
There you go.
No.
Alligators wearing a kilt.
Oh my gosh, we
They're
don't
wrestling
need
in the
this.
kilt.
We don't need that visual, okay? I hope that they'd be wearing
Now-
something underneath to protect themselves. I don't know.
So the gator is wearing the kilt. Is that right?
Yeah.
No, she's saying the people wrestling the gators are wearing kilts. They
Well, I
need
think it'd be more
protection.
interesting if the gator had the kilt on.
That would be a lot better for Amy. Amy would watch that, not the people in kilts.
Because then I want to know who put the kilt on the gator.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
True statement.
Who is that person?
No.
I'm going blind mentally. No kilts and wrestling.
Thank you.
Hey, what about
He's my
Rowdy?
people. He's my people.
What about Rod Piper now? Come on.
Rowdy
Rowdy
Piper.
I don't
Yep.
know who that is.
He's
That
a
was before your
wrestler. He's an
time.
iconic wrestler.
Yes. He passed
He's
away.
like he passed away, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's like you would put him there with The Rock and The Undertaker, and he was and Hulk Hogan. You put him in with all of those guys.
Yes, he was a big opponent of Hulk Hogan, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is an alligator. You're not scared of that, are you?
I'm so over all of y'all. I'm over all of y'all. Okay? I'm all of y'all. I'm over.
No
would be
kilts and wrestling.
I guess I've been officially adopted now since she said she's over all of us.
Yes.
So that includes me.
That's a good thing. Then that means you've made her.
You were.
That means you're family.
Yeah. The moment you came on and weren't afraid to go tit for tat with me, you became family. That goes a long way with me.
That is.
Well, I have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any conventions that you're coming up with that you can announce?
Like I was saying earlier, I have so far nothing. I have a great agent, Wendy Powell of Powell Talent. I have a great agent. It's just nothing is popping for me right at this particular moment. But I know Wendy, and I have faith in Wendy, so I know that it could be next month, and she already have 3 for me all of a sudden. But as of right now, I have nothing going on.
Well, all you convention owners who are going to be watching this show afterwards, if you're not already watching, there you go. And you even know who to contact now.
Mm-hmm.
So get them hooked up.
Yes, please. I love going to cons. I love meeting people. I enjoy interacting with people. It's fun because one thing I learned at I went to the con in the Dells in Wisconsin. Koloska? Yes, Koloska. Koloska North. Koloska North. And one thing I learned there, I had a great time. Snow on the ground. It was cold. It was like 0, -1, and -3.
Ooh.
I'll stay here.
Yeah. But it was great. The people were wonderful. The Fantastic Four Chicago, shouting out to you. You guys know who you are. Mad Moxie, you know who you are. And the Cola Crusader, who's on his way to Hawaii as we speak. He should already be there by now. He came through Dallas today, catching a flight on his way to Hawaii. He said he wanted to watch tonight, but he was on his way to Hawaii. But these guys, and Mew and Blue as well. Can't forget Mew and Blue. These guys were really great. They made me feel at home. It wasn't just, hey, we want to come to your panel and see what's good. They're like, hey, can we hang out later? Can we talk? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. And it was really eye-opening for me because some of what we talked about was how my character in Borderlands Brick affected their everyday normal lives. Because when I step in the studio and when I get in front of the mic, I'm thinking about being on point, being in the character, doing my job, elevating my character, and entertaining the gamers that are going to be out there playing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking
Mhm.
about, am I making this particular person feel safe because they're in an abusive relationship? Or I'm not thinking about the fact that this person uh, has very low self-esteem, and now because they're playing the game and playing with Brick or any one of the other characters, it has elevated their self-esteem, and now they feel more confident about going out into the world and letting the world see their talents. I'm not thinking about those things when I step into the studio. However, talking with these fans, these slabs, they educated me, and
Mhm.
it allowed me to see it differently. And all I could think of to say to them was, thank you for opening my eyes to that. Because when I go in, I'm still going to be thinking, I got to be on point. I got to elevate my character. I got to be entertaining for the millions of gamers that have played this game. But I'm also thinking now, who's going to relate to my character? And on what
Mhm.
level are they going to relate to my character? Because I've had people reach out to me on different levels of, you know, some of the things that I was just saying. Some of it has to do with mental health. Some has to do with identity. Some of it has to do with confidence, and some of it has to, to do with unfortunately, abuse. Some of it has to
Mhm.
do with they've been diagnosed with, you know, cancer, and their way of
Yeah.
coping was playing the game or playing with Brick, you know, or playing with Tiny Tina, or playing with Mordecai, or playing with Lilith, or playing with Roland, or
Hmm.
any of the other several characters out there. But I've had those that, come to me and say, hey, I was diagnosed with this and that, and I felt like, I wasn't going to make it, and I started playing this game. And I latched on to your character, Brick, and I've been a big fan, and now I'm cancer free. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
Mhm.
those kind of things, you don't think about, but they're out there.
yeah,
You know, they're out there.
Definitely.
definitely. I love it. I can relate because mine is similar, but with Sonic and Sega.
Uh
Because
huh.
I'm a brain tumor survivor, and recovery was not easy because they gave me 2 weeks to live, survived it. Recovery was hard, and I was dealing with bullies in school. I had to learn everything over again because I was
Hmm.
11 years old, and when you're 11 years old, you're a girl. You're starting to become a young woman, so things are changing, and now you have to learn everything you learned as a baby over again: walking, talking, using your hands. My self-esteem was so low. My hair was shaved off. I was really chubby, and playing the games on the Sega Genesis helped me. So
Hmm.
when it was Sonic the Hedgehog, that really helped me with recovery, with rebuilding my confidence, in similar ways. So I can definitely relate. I think that is wonderful to hear. I'll definitely check out Borderlands, and check out your character, because that would be wonderful, because I want to relate to more gamers who have similar situations, so we can all get together and be like, wow, this character meant a lot to me. This is what he did or she did or this game did. I think
Hmm.
that is wonderful. It
Hmm.
really is. I
Yes, it
really
is.
wish more voice actors like you knew and understood how much the character you're playing means to your fans.
Hmm.
Because,
Mhm.
you touch us in a special way, because I was alone after my surgery. I didn't have any friends. I was bullied because I stuttered really badly. Because you're in recovery. You can't help it. You're in recovery. My hair is shaved off. I'm chubby. Everyone thinks, ew, she's diseased, gross. Don't talk to her.
Right.
And all I had was Sonic. And I think it's wonderful to hear that a lot of your fans loved your character, and that character meant a lot to them. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm continuing to learn that, and what, like I'm saying, I was in the Dells, and one of the particular young ladies, she came up to me and told me about how playing Brick helped her uh, just come through something that she was going through that was very difficult for her mentally, and playing with Brick allowed her to come through that, and she wanted to share that with me. And she I talked to her on Friday, I talked to her on Saturday, and then Sunday, right before we were getting ready to leave, she said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And pulled me over to the side, and then she explained to me all there was. And all I could do, was be thankful that she was willing to share that with me, and and let her know that, no matter what, we're gonna always be friends and we're gonna always be cool, no matter how this goes. And and wherever I am, you are, and don't ever hesitate. If I'm somewhere and you see me and I don't see you, you better come up, give me a hug, come up, talk to me, slap me on the back of the head, say, "Why don't you speak to me?" Whatever it is.
The Gibbs slap.
Yeah, whatever it is, we're bonded right now. This is the way it's going to be, and I feel that way about a lot of my fans. That I call them, the Borderlands family. Of course, they're slabs, but it's kind of, it's really kind of eye opening. Again, and it wasn't the deals was just the latest, but there have been some that have reached out to me all the way from San Diego. What's going on, Little Slab? Where this young lady was, she was, in an abusive relationship, and playing brick helped her to be strong and helped her to get out of that abusive relationship. I don't think about things like that, but that was how it related to her and helped her. And she and I are very, very close. Talk to her pretty much every day as far as Instagram is concerned. She tunes in on our streamcast. I call it streamcast, but streamcast broadcast with Major Attaway on I Played Major on Twitch that we do, and we have a lot of fans, Borderlands family, tune in from all over the world. I had no idea I had a large following in the UK until I did. So hopefully someday I'll have an opportunity to go over and actually meet some of my fans over there, some of the Borderlands family face to face.
That would be awesome.
Yes, it will. I have actually been a part of. I was a online judge for cosplay contest that some of the fans developed, and they made me an online judge, and it was a great experience. And it was in let me make sure I say it correctly, Birmingham, in the UK, in Birmingham, and not Birmingham, but Birmingham, because when I first reached out to me, and I was reading, because it's spelled exactly the same, so I'm thinking automatically Birmingham, Alabama.
Yep.
not even close.
I definitely would have done the same. But two things from Tinsel. Video games help me run.
Tinsel B. Merriweather, what's going on, sweetheart?
Yep. Even though I'm wheelchair bound, I'm Destiny 2 player, and video games help me run. So that's pretty awesome to hear. And then, of course, Brick of Clay is my favorite.
Yeah, we got to get you guys on there. We'll have to get you guys on there at some point.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because what we do, this is what we do with Major and I, Brick of Clay. Major plays Clay in Borderlands 3, and I, of course, play Brick in all 6 of the games, Borderlands games, and 6 to 8 downloadable content. So we got this idea. We were doing a panel together in Chicago at Midwest, Chicago at what is it called? Anime Midwest.
Gaming?
Yeah, Anime Midwest.
Cool.
And
okay.
while we were there, we were doing our panel. One of the guys said, you guys should do a podcast. And we were like, yeah, we probably shouldn't. And someone else said, yeah, you should call it Brick of Clay. And we were both like, yeah, Brick of Clay. And then another fan said, yeah, Brick of Clay, the mortar that holds Borderlands together. And we were like, oh, that's it right there. We got this. So we came back, and Major lives in New York, and I, of course, am in Texas. But we try to put it together, and we usually do it Tuesday nights, and sometimes Thursday nights. Like we're going to do a Thursday night tonight. So he'll play the video game, whatever video game he chooses to play. A lot of the times it's one of the Borderlands variations, or it could be Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse. It could be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It could be Halo. It could be whatever. So could be Call of Duty. We're playing whatever, Smash Brothers. And while he's playing, we entertain questions and talk about, a lot of what we've been talking about. And that's kind of like, what our streamcast / podcast is about. So we're working toward bringing on guests and have the guests jump in with us. So we've had Joel McDonald from Gearbox. He's been on. Bill Butts, the great voice actor Bill Butts, has been on. And so we're working toward getting Brian Massey and Danny and Barry and Dale and and like I said, and you guys, we want to start getting more and more people. And I think we had Marcus Lloyd on as well. Yes, I do. The Roland, who played Roland. Marcus Lloyd played Roland. So we're trying to evolve like you, Greg.
For we're not even 2 years old yet, so I think we're doing pretty good. But
yeah, so we've been at it 6 months, I guess now, because that was back in July. So yeah, so that was when we got the idea, was in July. So we started about a month or so after that.
Nice.
But
so you guys, I have to go feed my kids at some point. I have to feed my kids. But Marcus, I'm excited for me and you to meet in person one day.
Most
Greg,
definitely.
okay?
Greg, that's on you.
I'm excited because it's going to happen. It's on Greg. It's on Greg.
Well,
okay?
Well, you do know we do own our own convention. I mean, we might be full for year one, but there is always a year two.
All right, mark me down. Put me down.
It's so nice to meet you. This has been so much fun. I hate that I have to get off, but if I don't get off, my kids are going to starve to death, so I have to feed them.
Yeah, got to feed the baby.
Crazy thing, right?
Yes, definitely.
Thing, I can't wait. But bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, be careful on your hiking, and good luck on going to Hawaii. Bring us back some sand.
Bring us back.
I will. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
But I do want to thank you for being on. I know we've definitely gone over an hour, and if you have another show, I don't know what time you start that, but
well, we're kind of seeing, that's the thing. We're kind of still, molding our format because we started doing Tuesday nights. We started doing Tuesday nights at 8:00. The problem is we're both actors. We're both actors and voice actors. So when we get something, it's either we don't do it that week and we have to apologize to the fans, or we have to do maybe on a Thursday night, if we can get that into the schedule. And if we can't, then it's another week. So, I think Major's actually listening. And if not, he may be finishing up an audition that he was doing earlier today. So he knows I'm coming. So sometimes he starts without me. He'll just start streaming while the game play until I join in. And then when I join in, I get in and we start answering questions and laughing and joking and exploring things. So, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. My man knows, because, like I said, he was in case you don't know, Major Attaway was the genie on Broadway in Aladdin for like 4 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's what propelled him to move to New York. He had a gig. He had a long time running gig.
He's not live yet.
He's not live yet. Yeah, Tinsel B would know, because Tinsel B is like one of our regulars. She is a wonderful person, and she's always there. If nobody else show up, Tinsel B is going to be there.
Awesome. What's the name of the podcast again? Or on Twitch, where people can go Twitch, look it up?
I played Major, and it's called A Brick of Clay.
A Brick of Clay. Okay.
A Brick of Clay. That way some of our listeners can go check it out.
Yeah, it's just kind of a relax, kind of like you guys. So it's kind of a relaxed format, and on the screen you're going to see myself and Major and whatever guests we may have, and then while that's going on, Major's going to be playing whatever It was supposed to be. We haven't gotten there yet. It was supposed to be he was going to play one week and I was going to play one week, but it's pretty much become major plays, and I add the commentary.
Hey, it's whatever works. In all honesty,
yeah, yeah.
Because I know that there's other streamers out there, and it's like I tell everybody: look, our audience is organic. We're not going to pay for followers. We're just going to keep it straight up organic. Because I don't want to lie to people, because it's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like you're lying saying, look, we have this many followers. Like, no. I'd rather say, hey, we have this many followers. It's the truth.
Yeah, because a lot of times people will say, why don't you have this amount of followers on your Instagram or this amount of followers on your YouTube channel? And I was like, this is just who I have, you know. I'm kind of like you. I don't feel the need, at least not right now in my life, to try to pay for bots to say that I got this elevated amount of people following me.
Yeah.
And not saying that, you know, everybody, you know, that it's all bots, but that's what I keep hearing. So, you know, I just rather continue to meet people at cons, meet some of the people on my YouTube channel, which, by the way, that's Marcus M. Mauldin on YouTube. So you can come check that out. Just put in my name, Marcus M. Mauldin, and I will show up.
There you go.
But yeah, just like meeting people and, you know, conversating, going on, you know, podcasts like yours, which, you know, some people will come in and tune in that have never seen me or know anything about me, and they'll be like, maybe I'll take a look and see what this guy's about, you know.
And they might go have fun and say, hey, you know, I'm going to do this constantly now. That's the way it goes. It's like, that's why I go to, not why I go to conventions. I go to conventions because I enjoy them. But when I go as media, I'm definitely handing out the business cards, letting people know, hey, this is what we do. We're here. If you're interested, follow us, subscribe.
Yeah, because let me tell you, audience, that Greg was real cool with the whole situation. He was like, he's like, hey, yeah, I got this show. And he was speaking real soft. He's like, I got this show. We really like to have you come on if you'd like to. So I was like, this guy's so laid back. I gotta go on the show. He's like, he's just so cool with it. Just like, yeah, this is how we do it. You come on and do it with us, or you don't have to if you don't want to. It's totally up to you. I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, Greg, yeah, sure, man. Give me the card. Let me get this. And we've been back and forth because I was originally supposed to come on as one of the closing shows of the year of 2022, but the part-time job was coming in then I was doing some one-day appearances as well to the end of the year. Because I do those as well. If I get a store that's not necessarily a chain store, but they want me to come in for one day to sign autographs, so it's not like a con, but maybe a mini con, you could say. You know, I had a few of those, so I was going back and forth with Greg, like, hey, you know what? Something came up, and I'm gonna end up this. They want on this day, and Greg was like, well, that's cool. Don't worry about it. We'll get you in on this day or this day. Or this day. Okay, and Greg gave me so many choices. I was like, Greg, you can choose whichever one you want. He's like, no, you go ahead and you choose. You tell me what's right for you. And I'm thinking, like, I have no idea. How about this day or this day?
Well, that's the thing, because we never know. Like, do you have shows on certain days? And so we try to actually schedule our shows around voice actor shows or conventions, because we know it's hard, and we know that there's a travel day, which is probably why most of our shows are on Thursday.
Yep, it's usually Thursday. That is correct. Which I've done some. I'm like, I have my phone and I'm sitting in the hotel room, and it's like, hey, yeah, let's. And actually, we've even done. We did. Major and I did a brick of clay while you and I were in Corpus. Yes, because we had Jim Ferranda on that night, because Jim was there for the con, and I was down in the lobby of the hotel on Brick of Clay with Major, and Jim came down. And I said, "Hey, Jim, come here, Jim, come here." And we put Jim on. So Jim became a part of the impromptu Brick of Clay that particular. Well, that was Friday night. That was Friday night before we jumped in on Saturday. Yeah. So awesome. Like I said, we're still all over. We're still trying to, figure it all out. So we've actually been on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, and on Fridays.
It's actually hard because I think I tried hitting all three platforms at the same time, and Facebook, of course, blew up fast. But YouTube is slowly moving up, Twitch slowly moving up. So it's not really a level platform, I found out. And it drives me a little bit insane because I like everything being level. But
right.
So you just got to really go with the flow.
Right,
yep.
Right.
Don't let the mentalities get to you.
Most definitely.
And I'm good at that. Let's see, what do we got here? You had to sit separate because your mics were too close. I remember that. Yeah. You can get those mics being too close and you get that echo or that squeal.
Oh man, there were a couple of times when when I set up and I'll put on the screen, on the TV screen, I'll put the Twitch up on the screen so I can see the questions coming in. And when Major's playing. And there have been a couple of times where the internet decided it doesn't want to work. So my screen will be, I can hear everything, but can see nothing.
Ooh.
And it's just like, I have to back out and go back and back out and go back and back out. And 30 minutes into the show, then my screen might clear up and then I got enough internet going where I get everything, but I'm still like 7 seconds behind.
I hate that delay. I really do.
Yeah.
And I've had it and it's like the lips are a little bit off and it's like, ooh. It's like watching a bad anime.
So sometimes I have to look at the screen and then look down here at the computer or the phone and go, okay, that just already happened. So I need to look here and do this and to try to, be in sync.
I was just going to say about that delay.
Oh, the first time we did it, the whole echo thing, it was bad but that was on me because I had gotten the new Bose earbuds and I was trying to use those because I was in the car driving at the time. So I was on my way back to the house. The very first show we did, I was out and I was trying to get back. So I put in, the new technology, the wireless earbuds. And there was echo all over the place.
we had I would not suggest driving while you're doing a podcast. We actually had a convention promoter on the show who was driving from Houston to Austin, I think it was. And you actually hear him say, "Holy crap," and his screen goes blank. He didn't get into an accident, but it's like, you might not want to drive while you do this, or if you drive.
I wouldn't look at the phone. I was just listening.
It was a little bit of back and forth, and well, I think the other person was actually moving over into his lane too, so it made it.
Crap.
Yeah, that's not fun.
So we've almost had one accident on the show.
Well, I'm safely inside, so no accidents here.
This is true. I don't think we're going to have any major earthquakes yet, so we're still good.
No, yes. Hopefully not. I've been in one before, so and it was a small one, but have never been in one and then be in one.
This is what's hilarious. I was stationed in the Navy and I was in California. Every time we went out to sea, there would be an earthquake, so I never felt one. Now I lived in Georgia for a couple of years, and they actually had one in South Carolina that I felt in Georgia.
Felt in Georgia.
Wow.
And it was like, wow, so this is an earthquake.
This is an
And
earthquake.
this is what really makes it interesting, because earlier that day we were walking around the yard checking everything out, and deer were actually running in broad daylight.
Wow.
So the animals were actually told us before it happened. We just didn't sink it into our head that that was what was going to happen.
Speaking of deer, okay, I have to
Oh,
share the
damn.
story. I have to share the story. So I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio, Blue Ash,
Mhm.
Ohio, and I am shooting a movie called The Pope Drops In Ohio, and it's a comedy,
Mhm.
and I play the Pope. So, and it
Mhm.
will be released sometime here, probably in the next couple of 3 months on Tubi. So look for that. So
Okay.
I'm off one day, not shooting that day. So I have Mike Mergler has given me a company car to drive around. Thank you, Mike Mergler, executive producer.
Mhm.
So Mike gives me his car to drive around. So I'm out driving around, just trying to kind of seeing things. It's like, oh wow, this, oh that. So I'm driving down like the main strip of the road going back into Blue Ash.
Mhm.
And I'm driving, and as I'm driving, I'm coming to a red light, and I'm applying the brakes and about to stop at the red light. And as I stop at the red light, all of a sudden, to my left comes a deer, and this deer is bounding across. I'm like, what just happened? What did the deer just bound right on across? Boom, I'm like, okay, he stopped, so it's time for me to go. And he goes right on across and goes into the park, and then stops over in the park. And I'm watching him, and then the car behind me blows because I'm still looking over here at the deer that's over in the park that just crossed in front of me in broad daylight, like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, what just happened? So
Mhm.
that was my deer experience in Ohio. Most of the time around here, deer, it's close to dark and they're trying to get across from
Yep.
it, and they out and boom, and they're gone, and you don't see them. But he bounds across and then stops in the park. Like, you gonna take my picture, or because I'm right here next to the swings. Take
I'm
my
here.
picture. Yeah,
I'm
I'm right
here.
here. I'm here.
Deer distracting, cute. The dad jokes now. Come on, let's get some dad jokes.
Not the dad jokes.
Mom Mirella. She's also a fellow podcaster.
Okay. Hello.
Go ahead. Nature's very interesting how it reacts to everything. It's like sometimes you are very surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like, because deer, like you said, are normally evening or early morning.
Mm-hmm.
They're not during the day.
Yeah,
They're
this is
usually
3
bedding
o'clock in the
down.
afternoon.
They're usually bedding down, cooling off, and then at night depends on the moon if they're out and about.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I
Because I've
used to be a
seen deer early morning, right before sunrise in LA, and then, here in Texas and the East Texas, just at that dusk time, they bounding across, going this way or going that way, but 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
you want your picture taken.
There we go. But we do have Fan Expo tomorrow. We're going to be leaving bright and early.
Okay.
I do want to thank you for being on our show. We will definitely have to have you on again. And we'll
Please do.
And
I'll look
definitely
forward
want to get on yours and enjoy that. That would be
most
fun.
definitely.
So we will definitely be keeping in contact with you.
Okay.
And everybody, we will be, like I said, Fan Expo New Orleans this weekend. Hopefully we'll get some good interviews. We'll get some good pictures. We'll get everything going. I know I haven't done a live at a show in a while. I've been mainly taking pictures, so hopefully we'll get the lives going back again for the show. New season, we've changed our logo. I hope everybody likes it. We got rid of the skull and crossbones, as I call it.
I do like
pirate symbol.
the purple and the light blue. Yeah, that's nice, man. Because I was texting, I was like, now what should I put? Oh, never mind, I see it.
we have a new video. I'm going to be working on the video a little bit more, probably adding a little bit more motion to it, maybe get some different pictures of us. Who knows? There's a lot we're working on this year. Hopefully going to make it a better show. And again, Marcus, Brick, the Slab King, thank you for being on.
You,
and everybody, next weekend or next Thursday for the Con Hour, we have Larry Kinney, who was the voice of Lion-O from Thundercats. So that's one you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
So everybody, and I have 3 conversations next week with some great authors coming up. 2 on Tuesday, 1 on Thursday as well. Until next show.